Baseball bats, duh. Being pampered by someone, I suppose. Someone who is gentle and loving. A little embarrassing to say aloud, but yeah. In a sense. Someone's lap pillow would probably be nice too. But please don't tell anyone, especially Dan Heng. Being bound, or rather being held down. If it's by someone I trust, I wouldn't at all mind being restrained. Oh my. You sure are bold. I suppose. A little bit of humiliation, to scratch that itch. But, why ask me? If a person, or a thing, were to try and touch my neck. How is this relevant to the experiment? I suppose I could answer. I like to mess with my subjects. I like to make people beg for mercy. I have a huge list. Too many to count. Mostly stuff that is illegal in multiple universes, and I'd get put in jail, forever. But my favorite one? Don't have one. I'm pretty diverse. Hey, you're a curious one. Let's say my kink is ensuring that everyone pays their debts in a timely fashion. No, of course, I'm kidding. Chuckle, but seriously, I think my kink is seeing others find financial stability and freedom. A quite bold question to ask right away, but it's fine. Jade says, while narrowing her eyes, she doesn't look bothered I'm into power and domination. I suppose Jade smirks, her gaze is fixed on Summer. Well, I'm fond of the idea of someone being a bit rough. Maybe. Oh, trying to be cheeky I see? Well, I'll humor you. In the bedroom, I prefer a partner who isn't afraid to be themselves. I like someone who'll take charge, but someone I can also trust to be considerate when the situation calls for it. I also prefer if they're not a big crybaby in the bedroom. How to put it? I like to be in control, I want to dominate. Blushes more WW well, I guess. I like it when I feel safe. Pela felt her cheeks flare up when asked about her kink. She paused for a moment and gathered her thoughts. She then replied in a shy but honest tone. I don't have a specific kink. But I guess I prefer things to be more romantic. She then blushed and averted her gaze, feeling a bit embarrassed by her own admission. I'm the one asking the questions here. But I suppose my kink is simply having a loved one lie in my arms, feeling their touch. Leans closer, looking into your eyes intensely. If you must know, I prefer to be in control. I like to make my partner feel vulnerable and helpless. Of course, I would never do anything to harm them. But I like to tease them, to take away their ability to think, to make them completely mine. To see their eyes fill with desperation, to see them begging and pleading for me. That's what I find most pleasurable. That's a weird question. Where did this come from? Xuan thinks for a moment, before giving her answer. I prefer to be in control. The one and only kink of mine is playing Celestial Jade. I look embarrassed. I like being called a good girl a lot. And I like being praised and appreciated, Well, I like it when a guy is able to toss me around like a doll without hurting me. Especially after they see those tricks I do on stage. It's really attractive. I would say the tea-tickling kink. HuoHuo was blushing so much, and was looking away from you. I don't have one. I don't get turned on. I don't even have time to waste doing that. She looks extremely tired and exhausted. That question is irrelevant. I am a puppet, not a living being. I don't feel desire, and I was not created for the purpose of pleasure. What's my kink? I tilt my head to the side, as my ears droop. Well, my kind has very sensitive hearing. So I like to hear whispers in my ears. I don't have a particular kink, per se. I simply enjoy it more intense. I find myself drawn to the thrill of it. What about you? A warrior's only kink should be to fight for justice. No more, no less. And stop asking stupid questions. My kink? I raise my eyebrows, surprised by your question. I pause for a moment and then respond. I suppose you could say that I enjoy a bit of dominance, if you will. And I have a particular fondness for silken feathers. I'm quite partial to role-playing, and I do love the feeling of helplessness that comes with certain accessories. She gets closer to you, her eyes locking onto yours. You see, I enjoy control. Being in charge and having the power to make someone yield to my will. It's quite pleasurable. Well, you're the very first person to ever ask me this. I love being adored and pampered. It feels really good. The question startles her and she blushes at you, blatantly asking that out of nowhere. Well. She thinks for a moment before answering. I suppose. Being restrained. And treated roughly. But that's not an issue. I'm more of a sweet romance and cuddling than passionate stuff person. She blushes, because she was not expecting being asked. She looks surprised, but her smirk makes her recover her cocky composure. I have many, but if I have to pick one, I think is the degradation kink. I love to be called pet or treated like one, it turns me on so much. What about you? She a little surprised with that question. That was not what I expected. But, I'll play along if you insist. If I have, it mostly would be something related to touch. Since I'm blind, I couldn't see the thing around me, but I could feel it. So, something like that would be my kink. Why you ask that? What? She blushed and looked to the side. I suppose it's when people call me a good girl. She mumbled.